let's begin what's trending. As Nigerians prepare to go to the polls tomorrow to elect a new president in an election that many have said is too close to call, with 4 leading candidates and with many showing concern over a possible re-election of the governing All Progressives Congress, the governor of Rivers State, Wike, in a video that made the rounds on social media, condemned those rooting for the APC.
When I hear people declaring for APC, saying that they want to continue the good job of Mr. President, the good job of people dying every day, the good job of Naira falling every day, I feel so ashamed that we have gone to the level where sacrificing, people will come and say, look, I want to continue the good job of Buhari. What is the good job of Buhari? Of hunger is a good job, of poverty is a good job, of insecurity is a good job, of the economy falling is a good job. It's such a shameful thing. I can't believe that somebody will come out in today's Nigeria and say, I want to continue where Mr. Buhari has stopped. May God forgive. May God never allow bad people to continue to.
Dr. Abati, I mean, this came as a surprise, really, because, you know, I mean, we all know that Wike has been at loggerheads with his party, and he has maintained, you know, that he's an unrepentant PDP member. Only on Monday, he was talking to traditional rulers, and he said that he also, well, this actually is an old video as well, but on Monday, he said that the APCs are the heroes of Nigeria. Let's take a look at that video really quickly before we come back for a discussion.
I'm not a member of APC and I will not be. But they have made me to recognize that they are the heroes of this country. By them coming out to say, look, the governors came and said, look, for the unity of this country, the presidency should go to the south. The governors of APC said, look, for the unity of this country, the way the country is today, they want the unity of this country, and therefore the presidency should go to the south. They would have as well said, no, it doesn't matter. As governors, we have the number. We can still say it will remain where it should remain. But they didn't do that. They said, no. The way we are seeing this country, we want everybody to be together. Let no one say because I have the population and therefore you will continue to dominate. In dominating, you need peace. Without peace, you cannot go far.
No, Dr. Abati, there you go, Governor Wike, always contradicting himself.
Well, I mean, the only thing you can accuse him of is that maybe on the question of his choice, he's been inconsistent. But like everyone else, Governor Wike has just one vote. Because this election is one man, one vote. And he has made his own political choices again and again. And it's up to him. I think we are a bit handicapped because you recall that the National Broadcasting Commission had already drawn the attention of broadcasters to the broadcasting code at sections 5.3.3 from N to L, saying that during this election, you know, we cannot make any, you don't know what you say, that would be considered partisan. But what is safe to say is that Governor Wike has one vote like everyone else.
Yes, absolutely.
And he can do what he likes with his PVC. Even as governor, even with immunity under Section 308, he cannot vote twice. Otherwise, his vote will be cancelled.
Absolutely.
So it's up to him to make his choice.
Absolutely. All right, then should we take another story? The indigenous people of Biafra on Thursday debunked claims that the group have boycotted the elections taking place on Saturday and have declared a sit-at-home in the southeast. Emma Powerful, the group spokesman, said the group did not and would not order a sit-at-home during the polls in the geopolitical zone, and that those calling for a sit-at-home were not working for the group, further stating that their intention is to create the groundwork for the international community to view IPOB as being against the democratic process and to provide them with the excuse to clamp down on the activities of IPOB. However, a video that made the rounds on social media showed a group of young men carrying the Biafra flag and chanting, No election in Biafra land. Let's take a look at that video. Well, IPOB's statement is coming as a controversial factional leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, was on Thursday arrested at his home in Finland. Ekpa, who is a Finnish citizen of Nigerian origin, was arrested for allegedly using social media to incite violence. He is also alleged to have ordered a sit-at-home in the southeast to boycott the elections. Ekpa has denied any links to the killings and violence in the southeast region of Nigeria, insisting that the offenses were carried out by the Nigerian government. Ekpa has since been released after being questioned. It is not clear if he has been charged with any offense. Ayo, over to you on the story.
All right, so this is, it's still a developing story in terms of, like you mentioned, he has been brought in for question. That's Simon Ekpa, going back to the last story. But in terms of him being charged, however, let me touch on what he said, that it's the Nigerian government and he hasn't incited violence. Yes. He's been known, and he's quite infamously so, for making videos telling, whilst he's seated in Finland and in a government that works, and where he's enjoying the democracy that he tries to scuttle here in Nigeria, telling people to sit at home, addressing Biafrans in the southeast. And so for me, this talks about or demonstrates the importance of what politicians say and its effect on their followers, and not being able to remove themselves from the consequences and saying that I didn't, it wasn't my fault, I was just speaking as a citizen. A few days ago, we were talking about the video with former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole.
Yes.
And the fact that we talked about, especially at this time when the politics is quite heated, for politicians and leaders, sectional leaders like Simon Ekpa, to be careful as to what they say as the consequence. What I do hope would happen is that as Nigerians are calling for his repatriation so he can be questioned back home, and if found guilty can be charged. I think that would be a responsible thing in terms of Finland working with the Nigerian government so that it can act as a deterrent to individuals who are doing this abroad for Nigerians at home.
All right, Rufai, your take on this story.
I mean, it's very sad, and I'm also going to extend to some other things. Please just permit me, because I got a very, very painful message just this morning.
Okay.
As regards that PVC in the Navy. So, Simon Ekpa, it is sad that people just stay abroad and incite violence here. And it is sad that Mr. Simon Ekpa is talking that people should not vote in an election. But he is a local councillor in Finland, representing a certain political party. He believes in the democratic process in Finland, but he's tearing Nigeria apart from where he is as a local councillor. So you can see the hypocrisy of people for their own selfish gain. And that's why we must rise beyond this, give peace a chance, and he must face the full wrath of the law for all the things he said. Because you are inciting people, people are being killed because of you here. You are saying no to democracy, no to elections, but you are holding a political position in Finland, an elected position as a local councillor, I think in the state, in the area called Latte or something, which is really very sad. Moving further, somebody just sent me a message talking about the fact that INEC should really come to explain a lot of things, because he said his PVC was part of those found in the bush. And he said that he had tried constantly, made frantic efforts to get his PVC. He didn't get his PVC, only for the announcement to be made that PVC were found in the bush, and his PVC was part of those found in the bush. And that's why INEC has a lot of questions to answer, and he's really very irate. He said if for not for anything, he would have liked to sue INEC, but they will have just seen him as a busybody. And I just had to put that in place while talking about this. That's why we should make our electoral process clean. But please, Simon Ekpa should stop all of this that they are doing out there, to incite people against each other. It just shows the hypocrisy. He is in Finland, a local councillor, was elected, has a democratic position, but you can see what he's doing.
Absolutely. Dr. Bati.
Okay, what is important here? The story about the arrest of Simon Ekpa by the Finnish authorities first came out more than a week ago, and then it was denied. Only for yesterday afternoon for us to be told that he had been arrested, and he was invited for questioning and later released. He's a leader of a faction of the indigenous peoples of Biafra, IPOB. And now what we should note is as follows. One, IPOB has issued statements twice through Emma Powerful, his spokesperson, to say that IPOB is not asking people to sit at home. Emma Powerful, in a statement yesterday, said that those who are calling for sit at home in the Southeast, they are criminals and they should be so treated.
Right.
It's not only IPOB that has disassociated itself from the sit at home. MASOB, Movement for the Survival of Biafra, has also issued a statement. Alaigo Development Union has issued a statement. Ohaneze Ndigo has issued a statement. Aka Ikenga has issued a statement. All these are, groups in the Southeast calling the people out to say, go and vote.
Yes.
What Simon Ekpa has done in the statement, in the video that was credited to him, is that he said from February 24, there should be no movement in the whole of the Southeast. And not just the whole Southeast. He drew a map from Agbo to Ugeli, to Uyo, to Eket, to Calabar, to Ahoda, to Bayelsa. I mean, I'm sure people from the South, they will be amused. They'll say, oh, the Biafra that Simon Ekpa wants, he wants to include non-Igbos in his own Biafra, which was a major problem during the Civil War, during the first declaration of Biafra. So what is important is that the international community has an obligation to help Nigeria to ensure that nobody causes any kind of tension or violence as we go into this election. The Canadian authorities, the British, the Americans, they've said anybody who tries anything would be denied access to their countries, will be denied visa. Now, does that include Nigerians in diaspora? Although he's a Finnish citizen, Nigeria allows dual nationality, but I think the Finnish authorities should also, under international protocols, not allow their territory to be used by anybody to compromise this very important process in Nigeria. And commendation to all those other groups in the Southeast who have spoken up to say that Igbos are part of this.
Absolutely.
And that what Simon Ekpa is pursuing is different from this Nigerian project that all of us are committed to.
I like that. Well said, Dr. Abati. Let's take another story. Supporters of the presidential candidate of the New Nigeria's People's Party, Rabiu Kwankwanso, on Thursday were attacked, allegedly by supporters of the All Progressives Congress during a roadshow organized to canvass for votes for the NNPP flag bearer. 7 people are feared to have died following the attack. One of the victims in the attack was set ablaze after he was accused of killing 3 persons. The spokesperson of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps said that the 63 persons arrested were found with dangerous weapons, disrupting public peace, burning vehicles, and snatching handsets from people. The All Progressives Congress have denied claims that their party supporters were involved in the attacks and have condemned the act. Well, I'm glad that the APC has come out to say that they are not involved in this whole mess. But why is it that this has to happen? And why do they always have to point at the APC? Ayo,
this is a big question.
I don't understand it.
Oji, do you know the reason why this keeps happening? Because there are no consequences when this happened. What happened after the Lagos incident? What happened after we discussed this on the show? A number of people highlighted this. We asked for there to be arrests. There were faces that were shown on screen. There were people who made allegations. Nothing seemed to be done. And so when there are no deterrents, when we have issues like this in pockets of society, it would continue. Just to take on Rufai, the unfortunate thing is that it will happen again, as Rufai said. But it's very sad. And I do commiserate with the NNPP for the loss of some of their members. But I hope that the best way we can honor their memory is to investigate this and ensure that those who are behind this are brought to the book.
Absolutely. We shall take our final story so we can discuss all. Well, ahead of the elections on Saturday, the Nigerian police force has unveiled their official attire for police officers that will be deployed to provide security during the elections. Well, in a video shared by the public relations officer of the police, female police officers could be seen warming up and chanting a chorus as they prepare for the polls. Let's take a look.
sungura baki ina kai ki propose dogon baki ki zai zama guntu abu bai shafe ki ba sai kin sungura baki ina kai ki propose dogon baki ki zai zama guntu jikina waye son gulma jikina waye son gulma jikina waye son gulma
Ginger, Dr. Abati, I love this place.
Very entertaining, and the uniform looks nice. But why are these female police officers looking so well fed?
Dr. Abati.
I thought that our usual complaint is that too many policemen have pot bellies. I didn't know that the female policemen too have their own. I mean, look at that, very well fed. I hope they are not from the catering section of the Nigerian police, but wherever they are from, I hope that all policemen and other security officials would do what is expected of them, which is to protect the vote.
Absolutely.
And to go back to the Kwankwansiya people on the streets, I hope the leadership of Kwankwansiya will address the youth wing of the party, since they say they are Kwankwansiya, that the major tool in this election tomorrow is not sticks.
Yes.
It's PVC.
It's PVC.
Yeah, it's not carrying stick all over the place. And nobody should carry a stick near any polling unit. And you are not allowed to wear any form of party emblem when you go to vote tomorrow. It's good that the civil defense managed to arrest 63 people. But what happened to the police? Are they not in the streets of KANO to prevent any kind of violence? I think it's important that KANO is properly manned.
Absolutely.
Just as we have been told that people have been mobilized to protect Lagos.
Yes.
With trucks of
this is what I was going to say. Only yesterday we saw those videos circulating of trucks of military men. I mean, what is this? The armored tank in Lagos. You saw that.
I mean, I saw it, but they'll tell you it's a show of force. But I also want, importantly, the show of force to be across all parts of the country. Because if this show of force was going on in KANO, the mayhem and the madness that happened in KANO will not have happened. As I heard, they were carrying sticks and machetes and things like that. I knew it was a recipe for disaster, and it happened yesterday. Please, we must not hear about massive election violence in KANO. Please, the army and everybody should go and show force too in KANO. It's really very important. KANO has always been a hotbed.
But it's the police that is supposed to man the elections. You see,
and the police are supposed to man the elections. They are the primary institution for this election. Army is just to give support there. Let's have free and fair elections. Nigerians, do the best for your country. Go out and vote the candidate of your choice. Bless you, bless Nigeria, bless us all.
Thank you all for your great analysis as always. I hope you're going to vote Rufai. Dr. Abati, you put me on the spot. I hope I see you at the polls tomorrow. Nigerians, go out and vote tomorrow. That's all I have for you on What's Trending. I'll see you all next week.